Today is the hair wash day, so it's probably for the best that you can't see the top of my head. I've also decided that there's going to be times where the podcast gets more than the video gets, and then the video will get more than the podcast gets. I don't know if this is a benefit though, if I'm being completely real. For those of you that are partaking, cheers, bitch. But for YouTube's sake, I will not actually be including this clip. What up, witches and bitches? Welcome back to your new favorite podcast, The High House, with your girl, Jessie, and my co-host, Mother Nature. Ooh, and now they get all quiet. So, welcome back, love, or welcome. I know that I say on every episode that there's no agenda here, love. We're just going in and having a open dialogue and just seeing what comes up for us. But today Mercury retrograde has inspired me. I wanted to talk about fucking traveling, damn it. So I'm just gonna jump right into it, okay? So you're probably like, Jessie, what the fuck are you talking about? Travel and all that shit. Well, for those of you who don't know, we were gonna be going to Bali in August. And then we're like, okay, Mexico in December then. It was 222, right, when I said that one. The reason that more than likely neither of those things are happening, and it was 2, 3, 4, if I'm gonna be completely frank, it was because I didn't want to spend my energy trying to convince somebody else to fucking live their life. And that ultimately is what it boiled down to, working with the company that I was working with in order to curate these, adventures. So, gonna say long story short, but nah, bitch, this is a podcast and your girl is a Gemini rising. We're gonna fucking walk, okay? So, last year, I was approached by this company called Trova Trip, and they offered me the opportunity to host a trip of my choosing. And all I would have to do is essentially get my community to buy tickets to come onto this trip, and then boom, we're all in fucking Bali having this spiritual, beautiful experience. And I was like, fucking no brainer. Yes, please. Thank you, universe. I'm fucking deserving. This is incredible. I gotta be real with myself. Bali, the idea of it scared me, and it moved so much energy within me and lit this fire under me and put this pressure on me, and it was this whole fucking experience. And I'm like having these meetings with these people for Trova Trip, and they're beautiful people. In fact, the woman that I'm having those Zoom calls with on a regular basis is a tarot reader herself and a manifester for human design, And so I'm like, all right, bitch, this is so aligned. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. And then it was like pulling fucking teeth. I got one person signed up. Hell yeah. Thank you, bitch. Let's fucking go. Then eventually another person signs up, and then it sits there, and I have to hit a minimum of 8 people by a certain date. And so I'm over here like just trying to live my life, trying to be, allow myself to be spiritually aligned with the opportunities rather than putting pressure on myself or anyone else about it, but also acknowledging that I do need to put in effort in order to play my part in this. So I'm like finding that balance with it and everything. It's sitting heavy at 2. Everybody, I go to all of these events. I go to my own events and other people's events, and they're out here being like, you're the one going to Bali, huh? You're going to Bali, huh? That shit's been calling me. I've been wanting to go to Bali. And me and my girls are wanting to go on a girls trip, and maybe I could talk to them about that, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. Bitch, it is a whole week in Bali, a whole spiritual experience. And girl, I'm not even kidding when I tell you it was at least 10 women who expressed to me, fuck yes, I'm gonna do this. But the reality of the situation was 2 people booked, 1 person booked, and then almost immediately fucking canceled. And then I'm waiting on it. And then the initial person that booked was like, hey girl, I'm just feeling real uneasy about traveling these days and the flights and traveling internationally and yada, yada, yada. I just don't feel comfortable with it. So I'm sorry, don't hate me, I'm canceling. And I'm like, fuck. So I was left with the one person, and I was like, well, shit. And it was my girl, it was Demi, it's my fucking sister. And so I called her up and I was like, girl, here's the situation. People are dropping like flies, and it seems to do traveling that distance, that length, they seem to be scared of that. And so if I'm able to see about adjusting it to going to someplace that's a little bit closer, what do you think? And so she and I went and looked at our options on there, and we chose to go to Mexico City. And now here we are. Yesterday, they were like, hey, today's the deadline for getting 2 people booked for this Mexico trip. And it just like, ugh, I don't want to. I don't want to push it. I don't want to pressure it. It very well could be that I should have just left Bali alone and sat with the one booking and crossed my fucking fingers. And because as soon as I was like, hey, y'all, everyone was telling me how they have resistance over the distance of travel, so I made it more local. And then people were like, oh man, Bali was really calling me. I'm like, you didn't pick up the phone. You didn't pick up the phone. And so I know my ass is gonna go to Bali at some point, and I know my ass is gonna go to Mexico at some point. But it's going to be on my own terms. It's going to be in a frequency of flow and where I am not trying to convince others to experience things that are outside of their comfort zone to such a degree where I have some company, you know, not to sound ungrateful or anything, but just it's the reality of their needs, that they need a certain amount of numbers at a certain time. And for me, I'm just like, hey girl, here's where I'm gonna be. Y'all know you want to be there or don't, you know? And to just trust in that timing. And when I have this like goal that I keep needing to hit at a certain fucking time because of another entity, I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. It puts pressure on me and the other people, and I genuinely believe that this was spirit just trying to awaken this within myself, because before this, Bali was not on my radar as a reality, but it is now. And I know that's true for others too. And there was a few years back where I felt really called to host a retreat in Joshua Tree, and I think that's where my heart is kind of guiding me again, just putting travel and expansion and those kind of moving parts in front of me again. It's good to allow yourself flexibility and to also honor your own pace. Like, that has been the name of the game since fucking episode 1, when I started, you know, talking to you guys about this whole thing, is just honoring your own pace and not compromising that. And that's been coming up a lot in recent downloads and readings for my clients and stuff like that. And I know it has a lot to do with the retrogrades. It's just spirit is giving us all this opportunity to be like, where are you going? Where are you going? Slow the fuck down. There's no need to rush. You know, there's so much that goes on underneath the surface when you plant a seed before it germinates, right? There's another process that happens. Don't quote me, but you know, I'm feeling called to go to the cards. So, ooh, and it's chilly. Ooh. Pause real quick. I'm gonna grab myself a blanket. But yeah, ultimately, I just feel like spirit is giving us this beautiful opportunity to slow down and zoom out. You know, slow down, zoom out, and remember, you're gonna trip over your feet if you keep trying to fast track everything or keep yourself busy, you know? And now they're showing me pivot. Actually, I haven't officially grounded and called in the energy, so I'm gonna take you guys along for that journey. Take a moment if you're able to, just connect with the ground, slow down and close your eyes. Breathe in and out. time. In and out. I invite in Divine Source God, the best of the best guides sent directly from Source, and my highest self into this space. I ask that my guides protect me in golden light, and only let those who walk in the light be welcome. I ask for clarity and discernment. So mote it be, and so it is. Inner Earth, yes, beautiful. Beautiful, oh my God, ugh. Ugh. There's so much energy in the heart space. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Oh my goodness. Is that not return home to self? Oh my God. That's such a beautiful energy. I don't even know if I've touched on that topic yet, but that has been something that has been very visually resonant for me lately, is recognizing that heaven is within earth. It is earth, it is Mother Earth, it is within us. It is all a journey of inward that is heaven, that is peace, that is, you know, woo. Inner Earth, also known as Agartha, is believed to be a hidden subterranean world within the planet itself. Many ancient cultures mention it in their stories. It's said that some of the beings of ancient lost lands, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Aryavarta, oh wow, so sorry, butchered that, went there. Hindu and Celtic lore mention caves and entrances to underground worlds. Tibetan Buddhism refers to the secret mystical city Shambhala, which is thought to be located in the Himalayas. Welcome to the Himalayas. Yo, watch Smallfoot. It's on Max. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Many have searched for inner earth in the physical world, but without success. So the mystery continues. Is it a place that exists in the physical or on another level of consciousness? There are solutions beyond what you can perceive. Surprising outcomes to your problems and situations. Resolutions that are in the best interest of all involved. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck and have no idea what to do, you're being reassured that there is a way out. You'll survive this, and things will work out. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. Try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new worlds of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. Helpful people, signs from the universe, and the support in both expected and unexpected ways are on their way to you. But first, you need to do something different to shift your focus so you can receive them. What can you do to shift your energy or your outlook? Dude, so for me, this weekend on the 29th is the new moon in Aries, solar eclipse. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be the photographer. I am the photographer for the next project that I'm working on, High Tea, the one that I was telling you guys in the last episode. Yeah, I'm gonna be the photographer for that, and so I'm really excited, and that is out of my comfort zone, but it is such, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's such like a culmination of all of who I am, encompassing it all in one. Like, I get to be the photography nerd who like gets the angles. My friends are professional photographers, so they're taking on the editing portion of it, which is, let's be real, the true bulk of the workload. So I'm just so deeply grateful for them. Yeah, that's me kind of switching it up, and I've been mentioning like times where we take the long way to some place. I tell Cody, we're going off script essentially. And so keep going off script, people. Do it. Like, remind yourself that the universe is always speaking to you, and that guess what, you are the universe too. And so you can speak right along and kind of change up the conversation and move the energy where it feels right, and to say yes to things that are like maybe a little outside of your comfort zone. But dude, okay, I feel like I'm going off on a tangent here. So I'm gonna go now to the bottom of the deck. Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. So to me, the energy that I keep feeling with this, solar eclipse right around the corner, and this is all about new karmic beginnings. And so, you know, that first card about inner earth and what are you doing to shift your energy or your outlook? Like, how are you participating in this new life and these new opportunities there before you? Also, honoring what has ended from that lunar eclipse. For me, that was relationships with quote unquote friends and colleagues, because it also opened the opportunity for me to really go in completely open-hearted to this photo shoot, because I know the women that I'm working with are coming in with that same energy. Open heart space, allowing ourselves to enjoy and receive and be our best selves, and I'm so grateful for that. And if that meant that some people couldn't be there to experience that right along with me, then so be it. So karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict, inner earth. Also, oh girl, I stayed on the same fucking page. Let me find where I'm supposed to be. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. To many, misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings, and then find mutual ground. I also recognize too, this morning I realized like the reason that certain endings of relationships feel sticky to me is ultimately because I wish that I didn't respond the way that I did. And I wish that I could have handled it in a much more empowering way. Like, I wish I would have stood up for myself in those moments. I wish I wouldn't have accepted guilt or shame, because I responded from fear and wounds, and I own that, and I recognize that, and I ultimately recognize that that is what makes these relationships ending feel shitty and feel sticky, like I can't quite shake it off all the way, or that I ponder on it, is because I keep recognizing that part of myself that left it off, letting them believe that I accept their projection of me. And I really, that doesn't sit right with me. And I'm grateful that this last time that happened, that I'm now in a position where I'm surrounded by women who are like, no babe, don't let that happen again. We see you, stand up for yourself. And now I'm like, okay, thank you. I feel supported ultimately. I feel like I finally like truly found my tribe, and I'm so fucking grateful for that. And that's why I want to create community around those experiences, the experiences of, hey, here's a bunch of high frequency women who are open-hearted and open-minded and be in this space. And if that fucks with you, that's on you, bitch, because we are just showing you love. We are like mirroring and vibrating at the frequency of love. And that's ultimately what I have come to realize. is that if I just allow myself to be in that space, then I can't really fault myself. And I'm gonna have to keep giving myself love for that part of me that showed up and took blame for somebody else's bullshit and somebody else's triggers and didn't call it out and be like, no, actually, that is not me. And what you fucking said is not true. And here's why it's not true, you know? Because I know I'm doing that now. And I'm so fucking grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. And I remind myself of that part regularly. I'm going off on these tangents, ho. Okay, hold up. Let's circle back to this book. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. And that's where I'm at, mutual ground. I have no ill will. I want you to thrive. I know I will. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? Girl, all I know is there's a part of me that judged the way that others have seemed to judge. However, I don't speak on those fucking judgments. I process that shit. I work on my shit and I hold space for others. And sometimes, yes, that does leave me vulnerable to people who will sit there and use their fears and their triggers against me because I showed up open-hearted and open-minded, and some people just aren't ready for that shit. And so it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Last little bit on this starseed soul inquiry. Which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? Ultimately, like I said, I hold no will. I hold no ill will towards anybody who perceives me as the bad guy. It's just, it's unfortunate because I see, it's very Queen Herbie. It's like, damn, I see your struggle. I see your human experience. I truly do. And if you're not ready to work on it, if you're not ready for solutions that are also coming from a place of love, that are ready, like, girl, I'm not judging you. Yes, I have my human thoughts. Yes, like, girl, I can feel feelings and I'm not stupid. The gossiping of it all, I don't understand how you don't hear yourself. And that's where I'm just like, wow, that's sad. Ugh, I'm not trying to sound judgy. It's just, it's like, okay. This this episode took a turn. It took a turn into closing doors, right? Like, okay, let me wrap it up with this. Pretty little bow. Ready? Okay. I want you to eat, just not at my table. Genuinely, I want you to eat. I want you to feast, bitch. I want you to tear into the juiciest fucking whatever the fuck is your favorite whatever the fuck, and I want you to eat it up. Sop it up with a biscuit. Lap it up. I want you to thrive, ho. Truly do. And I know that I will. And I know that I will. And I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Like, real good on that. I want you to live. And I know I will. I know I will. Shit, I don't need to expand anymore on that. I don't need to over-explain. Y'all get it. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then here we are. How does it go? If you feel me, then you know what I mean. But if you don't hear me, then you weren't listening. I ain't worried at all. These problems are small. So I don't think too much. I just stay in my lane. I just stay in my lane. I don't think too much. I just stay in my lane. I just stay. I don't think too much. Just stay in my lane. I just stay in my lane. I don't think too much. Just stay in my lane. Oh yeah, also, okay, so this is how I'm gonna end it, by the way. So the other day, I spent it with family. I fucking spent it with family. This last weekend was absolutely everything that I needed. I went thrifting with Demi, and Cody and Harley were there too. And we all went shopping, and we found these gorgeous like teapots and all the things that we're gonna have for the shoot this weekend. And then on Sunday, we went and spent time and saw Cody's grandpa and his wife. And we just, oh my God, it was just so nice and so wholesome and so beautiful. And I thought to myself, imagine hating me when this is what I'm doing. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen those memes where it's like, imagine hating me and this is what I'm doing. And they're just like throwing ass while they're mopping the floor, being stupid. Exactly. Like, and then, as I was kind of in that frequency and in that energy, I heard, Jessie's not responding the way I want her to. And I was like, started laughing at it. I was just like, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for reminding me that that's ultimately what this boils down to. Is like, bitch, fucking wah. I didn't respond the way that you wanted me to. And also, guess what? I didn't respond the way that I wanted me to. But when it boils down to it, I still showed up open-hearted. And I can't regret that. I'm just gonna make the appropriate adjustments to make sure that I don't stay so open-hearted with certain people. Period. Okay, so that's that for today, my loves. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you're not already following me on Spotify, go ahead and do that. And if you're not already subscribed on YouTube, go ahead and do that. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, hit me up on JessieRetroReadings.com. You can also get tickets for high tea and check out anything else that I'm doing. If you're curious about going on a Joshua Tree retreat, also let me know your thoughts on that. All right, that's it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.